Without a good CV, just forget about applying for any job. Yes, that is actually the bitter truth, and I'm sorry to put it that way. As most of my subscribers requested, I have decided to come up with a perfect CV, or let me say an almost perfect CV. And with this particular CV, you can use to apply for any job. If at all you don't even know how to start up a CV or how to even build up your CV, like people who don't have sufficient knowledge on Microsoft Word, or people who don't even know how to start building up their subtitles, for people who don't know how to separate each subtitle from the other, for people who actually do lack words to put in their CV. In this particular video, I'm going to share with you a site where you can get free CV templates, and from there I'll also show you how you can edit your CV, so please stay tuned.
Nurse Queen.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning in again. To all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you so much for watching my videos. And please, if you're watching this video and you haven't yet subscribed, please, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to this channel and also turn on your notification button so you never have to miss any video from me. So today I have come up with a perfect, or let me say an almost perfect CV, which you can use for any job application. And in this particular video, I'm going to divide it into sections. So first, I'm going to talk about where you can actually get free CV templates, how you can edit your CV. Like for example, you have this template downloaded into your phone or into your laptop, how you can edit these templates into your perfect CV. And I'll also talk about how you can search for words to put into your CV, the different subheadings, or let me say the different subtitles in your CV, how you can edit them. I will also give you different subtitles in your CV that can make your CV look different for each application or for each job you're applying for. The important sections in a CV. I will also talk about what not to do in your CV. Watch this video to the end, because this video is going to tell you how you can formulate your CV on your own without actually needing help from anyone. And if you are lacking words, you don't know words to put in your CV, I'm going to show you all the tricks where you can search for words, how you can get words, and how you can make a good CV even if you don't have any background in Microsoft Words. So this video is very, very important. And please, if you're watching this video, I don't know where you're watching me from, help me share this video. Is simply a short written summary about a person. So a CV talks about a person's career, qualification, the person's achievements, what the person is interested in, and also in some cases references. Almost all CV have the same formats. Now, for a standard CV, it has 7 different subheadings, but most people ignore one of the subtitles and only insert 6 different subtitles. I'm going to explain to you all. For most job applications, you will only need 4 to 5 different subtitles, depending on what you have as qualification and depending on how much achievements you have acquired in life. Let me list out the 7 different subtitles, and also in the course of this video I'm going to tell you which one you can leave out in case maybe you don't have enough qualification or achievements and you have little or no background in what you're applying for. I will tell you how you can formulate your CV and which points is important for you to focus on. You should start every CV with your personal information. That one is not counted as a subtitle. So I'm talking about starting with your name, house address, phone number, and email address. That one has to be at the top of your CV, either at the top center of your CV or at the top right hand corner of your CV, depending on how you want to formulate your CV. Let's start with the subtitles. The first subtitle should be your professional summary. The second should be your skills. The third should be your experience or work history. The fourth should be educational qualification. The fifth should be certificates. I'm going to explain everything, so don't panic. The sixth should be hobbies and interests, and the seventh, references. Let me start by showing you all where we can get free CV templates. So by the end of this video, you will decide on your own which one to include in your CV and which one not to include in your CV, especially when you have no educational qualification in certain jobs which you are going to apply for. So let's go. I've actually made a draft, so I'm going to display it on the screen for you all to see. And there is this particular link, and this particular link I'm also going to display on the screen for you all to see. Copy this link, put it on your browser, and it will take you directly to free CV templates. So now let's go. What you need to do when you arrive this particular section, you will see that they say download free CV templates. All you need to do is click there. Once you click there, you are going to put in your email address. After typing your email address, click on submit. Once you submit, you are going to have your CV. You can either choose to download it, or you can actually choose to start editing from the screen, like from what you're seeing. Like for me, I already put the my email address, and I could already see the CV. Let's go together through this CV quickly so that you can see all the subheadings of this CV. And also, I'm going to give you words that you can substitute for each heading, for each subheading. If, for example, you are tired of using, let me say, personal statement, or you are tired of using professional statement, what you can actually substitute in order to make your CV always look different. So let me start with the top of the CV. At the top of the CV, you have your personal information. So you have your name, your address, your phone number, and your email address. That you can decide to either leave it at the center of your CV or at the top right hand corner of your CV. Let's talk about the first subheading. Some people prefer to call it personal statement. Others who prefer to call it professional summary. But I'm going to give you other words that you can use. So it's either you put it personal statement, or you put professional summary, or you can choose to put professional profile. And this section is actually the most important in your CV, because this is actually the part that sells you to your employer. So in this particular section, you can choose to talk about yourself in a brief form, not forgetting, of course, if you have any achievement that you want the employer to see at the first glance, put it there. If, for example, you have this special award, or let me say this special recognition, included in this first section. And also pick out words from the job description or the job profile. Don't be scared. Use these words. You can maybe pick like 5 to 6 words, or even to 7 words from the job profile or the job description, and include it in this particular section. But please do not write like a whole paragraph, or let me say a whole page, because it is going to be so bulky and so boring. Make it unique. Like they can say, use 30 seconds to introduce yourself. This is what you should say in 30 seconds. So this is how you're going to formulate this first section of your CV. Some employers do use what they call applicant tracking software, or let me say applicant tracking system, something of that sort. And this is what they use to pick out specific words that will fit the profile of the person they are looking for. This first subtitle should be in a form of sentence. Don't put it in bullet form. The next subtitle is going to be skills. You can also use words like core skills or key skills in order to put it in this particular subtitle. In this particular section, it is always recommended to put each skill in bullet form. This makes it catchy to your employer. The next subtitle is going to be employment history. You can also choose to use words like work experience or work history, or simply just put experience. It all means the same thing. So you can also choose from one of these 4 and put it under this subtitle. And with this particular section, it's also recommended to put them in bullet form. Then next is going to be education. You can simply choose to put education, or you can put educational background. Some people just put educational qualification. So choose from one of these three to put in this particular section. And also this, of course, is recommended also, preferably, let me say, to use bullet form. Then next is going to be certificate. This particular section is really important for those who have received awards or special recognition. That's why I said I'm going to explain everything, so don't panic. If, for example, you received a particular award or recognition for something, because this particular award or this recognition, you never went for any training in order to achieve it, so you couldn't put it under educational qualification. If you're applying for maybe a carer job and then you were given an award, maybe for the most caring student, for example, and maybe you have a certificate to show, this of course builds you, because in this particular case you will not put it under educational qualification because you never went to school to achieve it. This was something which was awarded to you based on people's maybe recognition or maybe people's observation about you. And also things like driving license, I wouldn't advise you to put something like driving license under educational background, because this is not like a university study. So if, for example, you're applying for maybe a home care driving maybe position, or maybe you're applying for a driver's position, or maybe you're applying for a position that needs you to prove that you have driving license, so under certificate you can put something like class maybe B driving license, or you can simply put maybe driving license if you like. Or if you just have any form of recognition, any form of award, any form of certificate, or maybe, for example, you attended a conference and at the end of the conference you were awarded a certificate. This is of course what you're supposed to put under this particular section. But if you don't have any special awards, any special recognition, any special shout out, any special maybe conference that you were awarded something, or you don't even have any driving license, then please leave this section out. But if you have it and you want them to know your awards, certificates, recognition, shout outs, whatever, put them in this section. Create this certificate section and put them there. I, for one, when I finished with my nursing school, I was awarded several certificates from different conferences, because immediately I finished from school, at that period, like immediately after the period, I never had any job. So I used the first 2 months, I was attending all the conferences. While I was looking for jobs, I was building up my CV. So whenever I hear of conferences, workshops, whatever thing they are gathering that has to do with nursing, I was just attending, because from there, maybe from conferences, you can ask for maybe job opportunities. From workshops, even you can even get opportunity maybe to talk with someone who has connection to offer you a job. So I was just attending everything. This of course helped me to build up my CV. I, for example, if I have to write my CV, 2 pages will not be enough, because I have to remove a lot of things and fit in just the most important thing that will match this job description which I'm applying for. If, for example, I did maybe a workshop on HIV/AIDS and I'm applying for a job maybe like a driver, I don't need that one. I don't need the certificates. So choose what you need in that particular section, and if you think you don't really need this particular section, then please, it is best you leave it out. The next section of your CV is actually also optional. So we are talking about putting your hobbies or your interests. So if you think what you have is like a hobby and an interest, put hobbies and interests. But if you think what you have is maybe just hobby or just interest, put just hobby or put just interest. So depending on what you're going to fill in this section. But if you're doubting, then please leave it out. If, for example, you're applying for a job like a carer, you wouldn't go and put there, my hobby or my interest is Netflix and chill or eating. Those are not things that interest this particular profession. But if you think you have an interest, or maybe you have a hobby that matches or suits this particular job you're applying for, then put it there. If, for example, you're applying for a job as a secretary, you can put that writing. You can simply put that writing short poems is part of your hobby, because secretary, you're always writing. So long as it has to help you with this particular profession, put it there. But if it has nothing to do with the profession, please leave it out. The last section of your CV is going to be reference, or let me say references. Okay guys, please, this particular section, you have to be very careful with this particular section, because a lot of us have fallen victims, or a lot of us have lost opportunities because we put the wrong people as our reference. Putting your reference sometimes entails you to put the person's name, the person's qualification, the company, and also contact details, maybe like phone numbers or email address. This has landed a lot of us into trouble. If you think you don't have concrete reference or concrete references, please simply put that reference upon request. But if you're sure of your reference, like 100% sure, then you can put it. Because if they happen to contact that person and this person happen to say bad things about you, or this person even say he or she doesn't even know you, I'm sorry. Please be very careful with this section. It should be somebody you trust, somebody who knows you too well, and somebody you know too well. Please don't make that mistake. Let's move over to editing our CV. Now you can either choose to maybe use your tablets or your laptop if you're more comfortable, or you can simply use your phone. Like for example, if you're not maybe versed with maybe using your phone and software in your phones, or let me say apps in your phone, you can simply share this particular CV to your email, and then from there you can now put it under Microsoft Word and simply edit it. But if you have a phone and you're comfortable with your phone, like for example iPhone users, you can go to this particular page. It's an app, it is called Pages, and then share my CV to this app, and then from there I will now open my CV. It will appear something like this. I'll open my CV and then start editing. Now the first thing I'll start with the editing will be the upper section, which I said before, you have to put your name, your address, your phone number, and your email address. Please use your name as it is in your document. Use your address. If for example you're living maybe in a city, and then this particular city happens to have maybe a house number or maybe a postcode, include it in this particular section. I for one, I use lane 2. I just put lane 2. But if you put lane 2 for example, and then maybe you have a postcode, simply put lane 2 for example, you put your postcode 10579, and also put your city, which is also very important. So you put your street name, your house number. If for example you have floors differentiation, you can put maybe second floor, and then of course you put your postcodes, and of course you put your city, and if possible put your country, and then you can go to your phone number. In this particular template we have 2 phone numbers. I'll prefer you use just 1 phone number, and this phone number should be a number that you are reachable. And when you're writing your phone number, please don't forget to put your country code. If for example you're coming from Cameroon, you put +2376. I think that's the country code. So +2376, and then you can now put your phone number, and after that you can separate it with a full stop, and then put your email address. Please your email address should be a professional email address. Let's start with the CV proper. This first section is what I said earlier, is a section where you're supposed to sell yourself. So if you have anything that you think it will catch the eye of the employer, fit it in this particular section. Do it. Just do it. And please don't make it too bulky and too boring. Please just fit out the most important things, and also check out simple good words from the job description and put it in this particular section. Now let's move over to the skills. Now with the skills, from this particular section you can start with your bullet form. Now I went ahead to search for the type of skills you can put in your CV. Like for example, you're like, okay, I'm starting my CV, I don't know what to put like skills. Any job you're applying for, there are skills, and these skills are what are in the job profile, but you are supposed to look something that will match that job profile. So for example, I search on Google types of skills. You have communication, problem solving, leadership, creativity, teamwork, time management, collaboration, decision making, interpersonal communication, empathy, project management, adaptability, active listening, critical thinking, negotiation, attention to detail, conflict resolution, writing, data analysis, emotional intelligence, organization, management, public speaking, and research. These are types of skills. You don't know what to put under skills. Please, all these words which I have given to you, search from there, like which one suits this particular job. If, for example, you're applying for a secretary position, time management, you're supposed to manage time because, for example, there are thousands of emails, you have to read them, you have to reply to letters. Also, communication, which is also very important because you are supposed to communicate with your colleagues. So these are words you're supposed to take them and then see how you can look for a concrete word to back up this particular skill. So just use one of these words, or let me see, one of these skills. You can maybe choose like 5 from these skills, or maybe 6, matching this particular job description, and then look for a particular concrete word to make up a sentence. So please check these skills out and also see how you can use some of them, not all, because there are so many. I'm not saying you can use all these skill words, just pick out the ones that are important to you and the ones that are helpful to this particular job you're applying for. Now let's go to how you can search for words. There are also words that maybe you can use like a good, concrete word to back up this particular skill. We have words like sufficient, excellent, efficient, adequate. Now this is what I did. You must not use excellent communication skill, excellent listening ability. What you can do, go back to your Google, type synonyms of excellent. Now I have given you like a few examples. You can use, for example, outstanding communication skills. Please be careful while using these synonyms. Make sure you know what you're using, because, for example, you cannot say magic communication skills, no. Or let me see, you go ahead by saying that out of this world communication skill. No, please don't try it. So pick out words that you know that they can actually fit this particular role. Like you cannot say wicked communication skill. Oh my god, they're just please don't even try it. Another word is like efficient. Okay, you have efficient, you have well organized, you have structured, you have systemic, depending on what you're using, on what skill you're choosing. Fuel efficient. Please just leave that one out. Just leave fuel efficient out, but you can use the other ones. Now let's go now to adequate. Adequate also can back up, your skill in order to make a good and a concrete sentence. Now you have something like sufficient, enough, ample is also another good word. Appropriate, acceptably satisfactory. But please don't use words like nothing to write home about, or you're gonna use words like middle of the road. Please don't even try. Don't even go there. Please don't even try. The employer will just laugh and say, oh god, who are we employing here? Don't go and say because I said synonym means you can just use any word in that particular synonym. Choose the word that you know that will match this particular skill you have chosen and also matches your job description. So if you are doubting, maybe you are seeing maybe a job advert and you don't even know where to remove words from, simply go to the job description, the job role, the responsibility of this particular job, or let me say the main job description. Simply go there and search out for words. They are always there. Every good employer who posts a job outside or who advertises a job offer will of course always put out what they expect from the employee. Now let's move over to employment history. In this particular section, you can maybe choose to put first of all your position, the company name and the location of the company, and then followed by the year. You can also choose to put achievement and responsibility. Then you can now list out everything in bullet form, but you can also leave out this particular achievement and responsibility so that it doesn't occupy space in your CV, and you simply list out everything in bullet form. Now starting with the most important, look for words in that particular employment profile and fit it in that particular employment history. If, for example, you're actually teaching somewhere and you want to put it like your next employment history, don't just put it there that you are teaching in this particular school. Like, look for words in one of these skills that has to match with the profile of the employer. For example, time management. If, for example, you're given a task to manage in a particular time, like you're teaching, you are conscious about your teaching time, you are conscious about, the syllables, in order to manage your time in this particular syllables to finish in this particular time frame. You are able to manage yourself, maybe working under pressure, and these are things that they need to see. They don't want to know if you were maybe teaching in a school, you were teaching mathematics, or maybe you were teaching physics, or you were teaching geography. They are not interested. Look at the skills which I provided to you. Look at what you're doing, and then look at the profile of the employer, what he wants. So try to link these three up and form a concrete sentence that will act as your employment history, and this of course will be your CV. It's the same thing when you're writing your skills. Just link these three up and you will make a perfect CV which no employer will resist taking you. Trust me, no employer. Now let's move over to education. If, for example, you did maybe like 15 standard courses, which I've asked a lot of people in my DM to do, and you're applying for a career job, this is the first you're supposed to indicate. So start from the most important, put it there. Put this certificate there. If, for example, you have any achievement or maybe like any certificate that matches a profile of the job, put it as a first. Don't start with your primary school or maybe your nursery school certificate. No, start with the most important and the most required achievement or the most required education. So start from there. And if, for example, you have maybe certificate, which is the next section, you have to put your certificate, maybe like driving license, or maybe like they ask you to maybe do like a language course. IELTS is a certificate, and this IELTS, you never did any university study in order to achieve this IELTS certificate. You simply took an exam. It's on that certificate. Put it there. Put driver license, put certificate, put any shout outs, any workshop, any conference. Just put out any certificate which you have there, which maybe never took you like a year or maybe weeks or months to study. Put it there on that certificate. But if you don't have, no, leave it out. When you're talking about your education, or let me say educational qualification, if you're, let me say, like a brilliant student and you want to show off, maybe you had like 5 A's like biochem, maths, physics, and they were all A's, then you can put it. But if you have something like C, D, E, F, I don't know if it is Z, please just remove that particular section. But it is not actually necessary. I've really spoken about hobbies and interests, so you can now decide what to put there and what not to put there. And then the very last is going to be your references or your reference, which I have also talked about. So this is actually how your CV is supposed to look like. But if you think you don't have all these 7 sections in your CV, please narrow it down. And also choose to put your CV in other, maybe highlighted form or in other bullet form. It must not be as the way I have it in this particular video. So please make sure you do exactly as, let me say, like the standards which I have displayed here, but you can put it in any other form depending on your achievements, depending on what you have at hand. Let's come to those who don't have so much certificates or so much educational background, so much qualifications. Please narrow down your CV to 4, or let me say 3 sections, or maximum 4 sections. And what you have to do is fit in as many words as possible from the job profile, your current position, and the skills which they need. That is the secret of every CV. The things you're supposed to use there in your CV with maybe little or no educational qualification, start with professional summary. Of course, you're supposed to maybe do like, for example, I advise those who are applying for career jobs. I said pick up any voluntary work, put it there in that particular section. Put it there. Now go to your skills. What you did there, how is that beneficial to them, and what they need in their profile? Fit it in that particular skills. That's the second. The third, your work history. Now, simply just put their work history and put everything that you did. Your skills are your skills. Your work history are your work history. So your skills are, for example, communication skills and stuff like that. Your work history, like what did the company benefit from you, and how can it benefit this other company? Like what you did, like you were good at maybe washing dresses, you were good at, cleaning. So all these educational qualification, all these certificate, all these hobbies, you can leave them out. But if you think you are sure about your reference, then put your reference and include the name of your reference, or let me say include their name, their position, the company, and the location. But if you are not sure, after writing your professional summary, after writing your skills, after writing your work history, put reference upon request. So in this case, you have 4 different, or let me say 4 subtitles. Let's go over to the last section of this particular video, and that I'll be talking about the things you should take note in your CV. So I wrote them down. I'm just going to read them out to you all. The first one is going to be professional email. So I think I talked about that one. It should be a professional email, not something that has to carry maybe like all these funny names that we have around. And then your name in your CV, I said it should be the name according to your birth certificate or your ID card or your passport. It should be your given name, your family name. So those are the names you're supposed to put in your CV. Now let's go to the next. It's going to be pictures. Don't put pictures in your CV. The next point is going to be your font size. Like if you're writing, just choose maybe between 10 to 14, whichever way fits your number of words. Choose between 10 to 14. So if you want to choose 10, choose 10. But if it is too small, choose 12, which is in the middle, or choose 14, which is maybe the maximum. Then your font style. Don't go and choose these italic words like how we write in this italic form, or maybe just put if you are using maybe your laptop, I prefer you use Times Roman. Your CV should not exceed 2 pages. Maximum should be 2 pages. Anything other than 2 pages is going to be a waste. Your first page, of course, should carry the most important informations, and then like starting from the most important informations and then descending to the least important informations. Listing out only relevant points in your CV. Don't go and write essays and all those drama words and stuff like that. Just think about the important things which will help them, and then you put in your CV. Don't go about writing things that doesn't make sense, and what you are writing should be captivating and should be impressive to the employer. The next one is going to be grammar. So your grammar, don't go and use words like maybe I said like a middle of the road or something like that, or maybe I don't know, those funny words like flabbergasted. No, don't use those words. Use words that are much comfortable with them. Use words that are able to formulate simple, adequate sentences with them. And please take note of your spelling. Spelling. In fact, if you don't know how to spell a word, check on Google. You always have the right spelling. When copying writes up from their this particular point, when you're copying writes up from the employer profile, please, if you're copying their profile, don't go and copy exactly as you see on their profile. Please use the 1 word or 2 words from their profile. Take the skill which I have shown to you and take your current opportunity, link 3 of them and fit it into that 1 sentence which you're supposed to use. Don't go and take everything they have put there and just copy and paste. Please don't do that. They will know, and they will just know that first this person is lying. They'll know you're not serious. But if you know how to formulate it to convince them, they'll get confused. Use their words, pin them on their way. Please don't go and copy you. I almost had an attack. All your experiences matter. What is actually important to them from what you have acquired from your own work history is maybe, for example, trust, your hard working, your time management, your critical thinking, your communication skills, your flexibility. For any job you are applying, you should have a separate CV. If you have 10 jobs, these 10 jobs should have 10 different CV. And the reason is because each employer's profile is different from the other. I think I have mentioned about your phone number that you're supposed to put your code. Your subheading should be, of course, organized. So I think these are the points which I've gathered for your CV, and I don't know if I've left out anything, but this particular video is so long. With this particular video, with this particular explanation, you can build your CV like a PhD student. And I want to say a very big thank you for all your love and support towards me, towards my channel, and thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you share this video, and please connect with me on every other platform. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, especially on my Telegram group, because there I share a lot of useful information like job opportunities. Love you all so much. Bye.